go. What's up? What's up? What's up? Shout out to Riverside. Another Riverside presentation. It is a Wednesday morning. You may receive this whenever you receive this, but hello and good day. It's great chilling. GC, you feel me? This is where we keep it cool. This is where leadership mingles with just cooling, chilling, talking about all kinds of different things. We got the health tip and the massage stuff going on. Talking about tipping. We're going to talk about prep school in Fort Dix, Texas, Ohio State. But we're going to start with North Carolina. But again, my name is Lamar. You got to know me by now. But we're here with the Hall of Famer, the all-decade free safety from Texas, living in H-Town. My man, my guy, the man, the myth, the legend, Donovan Andreas Travis, a.k.a. D-Trav. What's poppin', shorty?
Hey, you know, like in the national, like, thanks for having me.
Hey, yo, I feel like, yo, you pull up to the side of the desk, you know, like on the other side, and it's the camera show you late. Yeah. And you know how they always do, like the late night show hosts, like the drummers and stuff on the side. Like that little dude that be with Jimmy Fallon, yo. Or no, it was Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, the little Mexican dude that be with Jimmy Kimmel, yo. He funny as hell.
Guillermo, is that his name?
Yeah.
That boy be acting a fool at the Oscars, yo, with tequila and everything. Just turn it up. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's start with North Carolina.
Thanks for having me. It's like, what you're on here, like, stop it. We know who you are.
No, it was you. No, you're honorary, yo. You're always honorary. So I always appreciate you coming on and talking good stuff, current events, whatever week it might be or time of the year. It's always important to rejoice in that perspective. And that's what we do at GC. Great channel.
Yes, sir.
But North Carolina, it was a highly anticipated event on Monday, man. Tell me what your thoughts are on that.
Ticket price is about to go down. That's all I know. That they're leaving the mid-third quarter. I know that beer and that wine and whatever they were drinking was tasting a little bit sour.
Well, set the stage, right? Like Monday night, opening college football weekend.
Labor Day.
Monday night, Labor Day. We're about to get Bill Belichick, in college. First time he's had some off the field things with this young girlfriend that he's been having.
Whoa. Let the man live, okay?
Let the man live.
If you're 70 years old, you get a 24-year-old. We watched Hugh Hefner do it for 90 years.
Okay.
We'll be okay.
I think the only reason why I bring that up, in all seriousness, I'm gonna try to say what I'm saying with a straight face. It's because we knew Bill to be very serious, and he won 6 championships with New England. Then he hasn't won anything with Tom Brady, and then all of a sudden he just sits back, relaxes, and he's with this girl, and he was actually dressed up as a sailor. I don't know if you saw those pictures.
Please, I don't want to see it.
So a lot of things were surfacing about like him just bringing out his personality. There was even stories on ESPN how like the recruits will come to the North Carolina and they be waiting for a minute, and then like they didn't even get talked to for real. Like they just left. So it was like, yeah, but the Monday night was great. They went down the first drive and they scored. And then you see Michael Jordan, Lawrence Taylor, Roy Williams, Randy Moss.
Everybody
I'm like, UNC is back, bro. Like, I'm hyped.
But they haven't been back since, when were they nice? When they had
Lawrence Taylor. Michael Jordan, Roy Williams.
Didn't like Sam Howell go there and like Yates and I don't know, the QBs used to be nice, but I don't remember them being like relevant. They always been a basketball school for what I'm concerned about. Now with the transfer portal, they may get a little bit better, but they're unranked. I don't think anybody's expecting like a turnover from like Colorado. Even Colorado struggled, right? They won that first game against TCU when Deion got there, but they kind of went downhill. Like it's hard to build a program up, and that's why it's so appreciative when freshmen come in there and dominate and win. That shows like the level of athleticism and basic maturity for like 18, 19-year-old. I mean, give you the example of the Alabama receiver, Williams, right? Like 18, 17 or something like that, and just balling out there. So when you look at it from that way, like it's very, very appreciative for somebody young to come in. I don't think Bill was going to do anything crazy, but I think they should have played way better than that. That just looked like he said it best. We got outcoached, outplayed. You can get outcoached. You know, we probably won some games where we outcoached them. You know, back in the day, but they just looked sloppy. I don't know what that quarterback was doing. The play calling, they always had 6 linemen on the field. I was like, what are we doing here? The pass was a little late, but also this is week 1 too, so keep that in mind. It's going to be sloppy. It's going to be, you know, a lot of penalties, a lot of mistakes, but that was just absurd. It wasn't even like, I felt bad. I started feeling bad for him. Like the pick, the fumble, the long runs, everything that could have went wrong. Listen, I got my ass whooped like that before. It's not fun. You got to jog back out there and play again. You're like, all right, man, line up. Come on, man, good stuff. Look at the score, it's like 40-36. Like, oh, man,
yeah,
can't wait to get my meal off this. Can't wait to get back, man.
So you said they were out-coached. Like, where do you think they were? Like, this is probably one of the greatest coaches of all time, right?
So I think they're prepared or took it serious. I thought there, you know, it was going to be some magic that he's going to bring. I mean, players still got to play at the end of the day. But the passes were late. Especially the interception, not out route. Like, that's... Even Archie Manning do that. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But just the offense, the turnovers. I mean, what is it? 542 yards to 222. Like, it started off nice, and I'm just looking at the other stats. I mean, 1 for 10 on third down. Like, that was one of our goals, is win third down. It's basically a turnover. You're 1 for 10. That defense is on the field a lot. You talk about bend don't break, but there's only so many times I go out there and try to stop somebody from scoring. People look like they're playing selfish, like weren't getting off blocks, you know what I mean, and missing tackles and stuff like that. Like I said, it was just hard to watch. And don't forget, TCU went to the playoffs like 2 or 3 years ago, right? If I'm not mistaken, 3 years ago, 2022, they went there. So they probably still got some, you know, some residue from that team. You know, freshmen that are pretty good right now, and then with the COVID thing, they get an extra 2 years too. So I'm not saying people have to transfer in and out, but they have an experience of playing some good. You know, they got their ass whooped by Georgia too after beating Michigan, I believe, in the bowl, and they got blown out by Georgia, something nasty. So they're reminiscent of this. They're probably hyped up all week too, talking about, hey, it's not about Belichick, it's about us right now, and this and that. Probably getting them hype, showing them all the stuff they're talking mess, and you know we're gonna win, and yeah. They're like, okay, we're gonna see, and they brought it to them. And but one, I'm just glad the dark ages is almost over. It's almost over.
Well, it's over now. It's over now.
Thursday, tomorrow will be the official start of the NFL, so I can't wait.
It's over now, but yeah, no, I'm gonna try to layer in some baseball here into the conversation with weeks to come, because now it's in like the final push for the playoffs, and you know September and October come around, you know that's when things start to heat up, and seeing those ballparks like the Philadelphia Phillies ballpark in the fall, the New York Mets ballpark in the fall, like the Dodgers, like a lot of that road to the World Series starts to heat up too, and so I've been paying attention to a lot of that throughout the summer. But no, Max Johnson, is he your starting? So I didn't know he was Brad. That was Brad Johnson's son.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Did you know that? Yeah, that's Brad
like
Johnson.
Say that.
Yeah, and Brad Johnson, and Brad Johnson was in the crowd looking like you with the headphones on, just like.
But he brought him in and he did his thing for a little bit, and I think you know you got to make that decision. I think that quarterback. I can look this up. I'm not 100%. I think he's making like $4 million in IL deal. So now you're starting to talk about, okay, you're not even performing. Now you just want some money. I mean, get your money. Don't get me wrong, but we got to perform. Come on now.
That's a bigger conversation too.
We don't say we get to one point, it's not funny anymore.
Right.
I never forget that. That's a bridge about the West Point, man. That history test, I had like a D going into it. I was like, I cannot fail this. And the guy's like, oh, you got 49 out of 50 ID6 or whatever. And I was like, at some point, it's not funny no more. Like, right. I love this school so much. I don't want to spend another semester here. I'm telling you.
Right. It'd be Thursday night. It's Thursday night. You going to the spirit dinner. Everybody feeling good. Everybody dressed up and stuff. It's the 1 week out. It's the 1 day out the whole week. You get to unwind and relax and chill. All the cadet sergeants and douchebags, they're relaxing, they chilling, they not on your back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, all right, let's go, let's chill. But then it's like, no, hold on, I gotta study.
Yeah.
If I fail this class.
People have flights on the way.
Right. Hey, they leaving, you staying.
They're bragging to your family about how proud of you are
right.
graduating. He's like, man,
asking you for favors, like, hey, you gonna be here, right? You might take me to the airport. Hey, yo, Mark gonna take us to the airport. He's staying the whole summer. Hey, yo, Mark gonna take us to Cancun, y'all. Yeah. Hey. No, let me stop playing. Hey, let's transition here, right? Because I like how you brought up a good point about NIL. So, recapping North Carolina, abysmal, right?
You couldn't play any worse.
No, you couldn't play any worse.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking forward to see them next week, and how they look in the future, and just the whole college football slate too, right? Because you talk about the dark ages. Coming out of the dark ages means that you have to have at least 2 to 3 marquee matchups during the weekend, and I thought that college football did that this weekend with Texas, Ohio State, LSU, Clemson, Notre Dame, Miami, and then we had North Carolina, on Monday night. They could have been playing anybody. It just they haven't played TCU.
Florida State beat
and they whooped their ass. Florida State, Alabama too. That was big. But let's talk real quick Texas, Ohio State, and maybe during the week since we talk more together, we get on our routine. We can really get a good snapshot of maybe the college football, because I know you're very passionate about it. You're one of the greatest to ever play the game. So it's really good to hear your opinion on a lot of this stuff. So with Texas and Ohio State, Arch Manning. I had asked you earlier in the week, who gets the greater pass, Arch Manning or Bill Belichick? You said Arch Manning by far. Tell me why.
Oh yeah, that's week 1. You had Patricia over there playing the defense. I mean, he's Super Bowl. I mean, like I said, I was joking. I was like, is it Ryan Day, Patricia, or is that pencil that he has in his hat that's freaking good on that stuff?
What you think about the pencil? You think he sharpened it? We get like a whole bunch of pen. He got to have a pencil NIL deal. He got to have some type of thing.
He probably got like some tequila in it or something. You know what I mean?
Hey, you want some?
You start stumbling.
No, for him to go out there though was tough though. Like, I didn't even know he was the defense coordinator for Ohio State until I'm turning on the game. I'm like, where's that pencil?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
He turned his head like this.
Yep, that's him. But he threw a good game plan at him though. Yeah. I agree with you though too. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's just that Bill Belichick's been had 6 Super Bowls, whatever. But yeah, I don't think we can be hard on Arch Manning. I even think about Quentin Ewers in a way, right? Yeah. Like, he stayed that year, that extra year. And I think that might have, I don't know what that did for Arch Manning's progress, right? Like, instead of getting to the fire and getting under center for a good part of the season, it was only like some selective snaps that he got in, right? And now this is going to be his first full season as starting quarterback. And the first game of the season, you're playing the defending national champions, Ohio State. Yeah. And they're playing with an edge on their shoulder, too, because a chip on their shoulder. Last year, they won a national championship. But in my car, I'm driving, I'm listening to the radio, and I hear about all their success. They still lost to Michigan.
Yes. I think, this is like 2 or 3 times in a row.
They still lost. It's almost like, if Army's going to a national championship and then they still lost to Navy, right? Like, you still lost. And that's a game that you cannot, like, really lose, right? Because it almost puts you out of the national championship picture, like, back then, right?
If you didn't have this new bracket rule, you probably would have been out.
And Harbaugh left, pros left, so...
Yeah, well, that was a sign stealing, so if you haven't seen that Netflix one, they're clearly cheating.
Oh, stop. Yo, how much of that? All right, if we're on the field, all right, like, okay, you might know where I'm going. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I mean, you still got to stop it, right?
Yep, and I was able to figure out sometimes, but most of the time I wasn't. But, people are sign stealing, like, if it's active, but I think the problem was he was going to other games and people were recording signs. That was the issue. It wasn't like he was on the field and the center was watching and like downloading and da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
It was the extra stuff that he was doing on the
field. Well then, you got to get better at making better signs then, right?
Or you just run it in. But there's no radio for the helmet, so you can't just call it in over your mouth. So
they got radio now.
Now they do. I'm talking about back then when he was doing it. They had to have signals because they didn't huddle at all. And I want to go back to that point you were making about Archie Manning and Ewers. I think a lot of people always want that superstar right away. And we always kind of miss the opportunity for a development phase. Or, you know, I don't want to say Ricky hazing or just like, you know, you haven't done your time yet, you know, on the bench and just wait. I don't care how good you are. I mean, unless you're like Trevor Lawrence who came out and balled out. That man's like 6'6" or something crazy. But there's a development process you have to go to. If you throw him out there too early, you might even hurt his confidence, his ability to play. If you throw him out there. Now, is he ready? Probably he could have done better, but Ewers was a good starter. He was nice. So I think there's a developmental phase that college football is missing. Everybody wants that superstar that's 18, 19 years old that's out there balling when, you know, you got other people who have been there 2 or 3 years who deserve a chance too.
So what would be a solution for that, right? Because you talk about the NIL thing with the make sure I mess his name up. Lopez, right? Yeah, he's making $4 million in NIL.
I'll verify that for you too, though. But it was something up there. So, but I'm just saying from the transaction standpoint, like, hey, if we're going to give you this, you need to perform. That's not what $4 million is. There's a reason why the NBA is so good. People are making millions over there.
Right.
Right. And we expect a better product, right? You know, you go watch high school. Yeah, you're gonna watch a little sloppiness. You know, they're not getting paid that much. Yet, at least they might start going to high school NIL deals too, if not already. But yeah, so you need to perform like that, right? Or your deal's gonna go away, right? If you're not performing good, they're like, we're not mediocre right now. You know, put our brand on there, like, oh, you know, man, Adidas mediocre.
Yeah. No, but you said it right. Like the development, you're right. They missed that development phase. I think when I was thinking about, right, Arch Manning comes in, he sat his year 1. He could have played the year 2. I think 1 year sitting is good. Julian, I think it's Julian Lewis, the quarterback, the freshman quarterback for Colorado is set to start because the quarterback that was playing, like I think we might have been playing a game. The Colorado quarterback looked, you know, a little bit inaccurate, didn't hit the plays. Their defense was horrible too. But again, like you said, week 1 in Texas, right? The leading receivers got 50 and 49 yards respectively for Texas and Ohio State. So that's not going to be a normal thing, right?
Yeah. That's just tough defense. That's tough defenses though.
It's
so
tough,
that's the game that I enjoy watching when it's like tough grit and every play counts and you know you're talking about inches from either being a first down or being a turnover. And they got some players over there too. So especially that number 4 receiver on Ohio State too. He's phenomenal. They probably double team
Jeremiah Smith, right?
Yeah, they double team him rightfully so. You might beat us, but he's not.
Right.
Because you want him to get frustrated, you want him to stop acting up. But once again, 3rd down, 3 for 12, 5 for 14, kind of relatively close, right? It was a great game to watch. And that's at the end of the day, that's what it is for the fans, and for these athletes too, right? Like, hey, this is real football. You know, no one's really high scoring, no one's doing anything crazy. I know we all want to see 75-yard touchdown, but that was football right there. That was football. Field position, you know, personnel switching, coaching adjustments, everything was in that game for us.
Yeah, no, I think it was a whole great college football weekend in general. I'm looking forward to Michigan, Oklahoma this next weekend for college football. That's Saturday at 7:30. Yeah, that would be great to see. But you know, it's NFL stuff coming up tomorrow, and NFL stuff coming up tomorrow and all weekend, Sunday and Monday, of course. So I'm interested to watch that too as well.
Yep.
So you know we're gonna get into you got the Chiefs stuff back there. You know what I mean?
I'm ready.
We going to get into that.
We playing Sao Paulo. We playing Sao Paulo on Friday.
Sao Paulo.
Friday.
In South America.
Oh, you know they're going international.
Let me bring it here though, real quick though, because I want to talk a little bit more about like our connection. We talked a little bit West Point stuff right earlier, and how you got to go on there, because you know our time at Army football, at least starting out, we weren't like all that great, right? We went through like 3 head coaches. We had like 200 people on the team at one point. It was just like pretty crazy. But when we first met up back at the point, You know what I mean? That was just a different experience. And then I come to learn that you're a Chiefs fan too. So maybe just tell me more about like just share more about your background and your indoctrination into the point and how that all came about.
The only school, so I went to Commerce Judson, that's right outside San Antonio. You know, I had Coach Rackley, he's a very, very known head coach in Texas football, right? And we got some good people. Unfortunately, if the grades are better, they probably would have went further. And they put together our own little basic combine there, and then we had a big old list. And then I think Coach Baranek, do you remember him?
Yeah,
he came to pick me up in school and everything, wanted to get to know me and stuff like that. He was real cool, and all I saw was free on there. I was like, free? I didn't know they're gonna take your time though.
Well, they're gonna take your time.
I had a lot of partials, not too many. You know what I mean? I was out there getting hella letters and had a big old stage and stuff. Like had partials from I think Texas State. Baylor, I think West Texas A&M. I went to Baylor. Like, yeah, we're offering partials here. I was like, partial. I was like, ugh. I'm trying to get a scholarship. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to pay for nothing. You know, I heard too many horror stories about student loans and people still paying them off too, like 40 years later, which is crazy. So I decided to go, and they sent me to prep school, and I showed up, and I had nothing on the packet list. I had ankle socks. I didn't have crew socks or nothing. I tried to hide them underneath the table. Hey, let me see your socks.
Is that just how you rocked the socks back in the day?
All I had, man. I didn't pay attention to nothing. I just showed up there, but they were cool. Afterwards, like, hey, man, let's get him some socks. Let's get him this. They looked out at prep school hard body, man. That's when we had that cadre there. They had no rules either. That was hilarious, man. You want to talk about hazing, but it was fun hazing. They didn't go too far. They smoked the shit out of us, though. I'll tell you that.
Hell yeah. See, my journey was a little different. See, I had to scrap a little bit academically and athletically because I never played football until my years in high school, my high school years. So
really?
I was like,
you didn't play like Pop Warner or nothing?
No, I never played Pop Warner, tackle football, or any of that. It was mostly basketball. Like I came up with basketball, so I was playing like. My sophomore year on varsity, I was starting. I was doing good. You know what I'm saying? I played a little bit my freshman year, and then after that, I was like, all right, I'm not gonna be a 5'9" shooting guard, right?
You looking up at a dude like this?
Hey, Lee Corso be like, not so fast, my friend. But I was getting buckets though. I was getting, you know, I had a couple of 20-point games, and you know, I was getting to the rim, and I was shooting the ball well. But I knew like the bigger scheme of things, like I probably should play football, so I did that. Now I learned how to throw with this Peyton Manning book, and so like I was quarterback. I did a lot of handoff and options, so it wasn't like I was like, you know, Jackson Dart, you know, 5-step dropping, gunning the ball 80 yards or nothing like that. But I was just in a good position to be a leader. And then after that. Some of my family members got appointments to go to Naval Academy, right? And they went to the prep school, and I was like, oh shit, well that sounds like a good deal, like free. I was reading free, so that translates to free. So let's do that. So then, free and out of Baltimore. So then I'm like, all right, cool, let's go. And then I get there, and I read a lot about the process, so it was like real formal in terms of preparation, but I'm still me, right? So I get there, I'm against the wall, and after the smoking and all that, it was getting smoked, but like you said, we was in shape though, so it was more like,
and we grew up in a house where this is like going to my house, do what you're told and shut up.
Yeah. And if you yell at me a little too loud and get in my face, might have to knock you out.
That's when you get the eye now.
Right. Yeah. The only person I was scared of at that time was my dad. Like, you know, still in to this day. So it's like, bro, you're not. Please get away from me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you're not that tough.
We're lined up against the wall, and now I see you running in with the red Nikes and shit. You come through with the red Nikes, yo, late, because we was there for most of the day already, and now you jogging in towards the end of the line, and they yelling and carrying on.
Like almost last, bro.
I'm like, damn, dog. But then fast forward. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was standing there when I got off the bus. I think we were standing on the steps of the bus or whatever. And I was like, God damn, it's hot out here. And the female cashier was like, what the hell did you say? I was like, oh shit, my bad. You know, we in the military for real. I was like, okay.
I know, right? And you see people getting haircuts, buzz cuts. I came in there with my haircuts.
I was already bald too. So I was like, okay.
So you just kept running straight past the barbershop?
You're good. Keep going.
It wasn't even a barbershop, bro. It was literally like just chairs everywhere and just like, dang, yo. This is crazy.
I love to see y'all who had a lot of hair, and now about 20 years later, y'all starting to bald, and your confidence is going down. And you know, just makes me so proud just to see what I've been growing through for so long.
That's funny though, because fast forward to Fort Dix. So Fort Dix, New Jersey, that's where our training site was, and then like that's when we were roommates, and like it was like 4 of us, right? It was like me, you, was it Mike Tashman, right?
Tashman and Cam.
And Cam, okay, man, what a lineup!
Yeah. And, bro, all I remember, oh my God, it was like early in the morning. We were about to go, and I was like, shoot, let me try to brush my hair real quick. And that's when we had the little skinny lockers and like the small mirror. And I'm sitting like brushing, and nothing's moving. Nothing's moving, bro. And I'm like, damn, I need to put some water on this or something. Like, what's going on? and then I didn't look in the mirror, bro. I didn't see you like this looking at it.
Yeah, yo, I was on the top because I was it had bunk beds. Yeah, so I was on the top bunk, and I'm waking up, and I probably heard it before I saw it. Like, like, hold on, somebody starting a fire up in this motherfucker. Somebody trying to light a match up in here. Like, you know, right? That man brushing his hair. But that's cool though, because like I was getting roasted. So 2 years later, I think it was like our junior time when we was training. So maybe the sophomore time, I think it was Buckner. That's when hair got real dry. My shit was dry as shit, and it was like, and that was when everybody was sniping at each other too. Like that's when everyone went to sniper school and trying to talk to people like any type of way and just try to roast somebody because just whatever it was like, God damn, I gotta keep a hat on all the time around here.
Yeah.
So I had my moments too.
They lost their minds, so we're like, okay. You were just here like 6 months ago. Like, stop. Come on, man. You ain't that tough. You ain't about that life, yo. The only reason I'm listening to you because you got that rank on, yo. I'm trying to get the hell.
But yeah, the cadre was popping too. But I'm talking.
I'd be mad. I'd be mad at Buckner too.
I know.
Take it, man. But go ahead. My bad. I didn't worry about it. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. But you know, we was Charlie Company rebels, yo, and you know what I'm saying, like.
But back to the hairbrusher, bro. That's why I knew we were gonna be from. We just started dying laughing, bro. Oh my goodness, yo. And then I'll never forget when we had to fill up our canteens. And I was like, everyone fill them up to the top, please, yo. And they went down the line. And they're filling them, toss them. You're like, oh, okay, it's not full, right? They got the can, he felt it. He was like, what the fuck?
I never seen a canteen thrown farther in my whole life, yo.
Expected that he didn't fill it up like, it must not have been halfway then, or something. But that was when we're like, all right, we're about to be friends and Charlie Cole and everything. While we go to prep school.
Yeah, that solidified everything to come. And I see now they're doing some stuff with Fort Dix, and Trump and the president and I
just put something out there. I was like, dang. So they've been having a lasting relationship with the military academy for a long time, training them. So I mean, it's a good training opportunity. It's hot. It's hot, and you got like what 10 minutes to shower. Remember that shit? Like you got
a certain amount of time to eat. You couldn't even eat like that.
No,
but it made you so tougher though. Yeah.
Remember prep when the lunch is like when this side of the table fills up, you need to be done. And if you're that last person, they cycle us through there probably like in 15
Hey, yo, and then you was like, you go out there, you got to do like 10 pull-ups.
You still chewing?
Hey, yo, people couldn't even do a pull-up out there. Like, like you're not going to formation until you do 10 pull-ups. And they need that was crazy, yo.
I forgot they require something before you even went in there.
It requires like dips, pull-ups, push-ups, some type of exercise, smoking exercise.
Yeah.
When she was done. That was 06. That's crazy. I don't even know. I don't even want to start to begin. So I know that's an enduring thing. We could rap on that, and bring up those stories and stuff, and even get into like the bases, right? They're changing the bases names, right? So like we talk about Fort Dix, you using that as a detention site. It's a good article you put out there, but and then it's also, the certain names that are changing from the traditional, right?
Yeah, I'm a little Robert E. Lee, but he went to West Point, so I'm like,
it's a great area.
For me personally, I just like how great of a general he was with little what he had. So I know it's probably big. Oh, what they're saying? Okay, that's one part of it. But I look at it from like he went to West Point, he's just an alumni. I don't look at it any type of way, and that's probably a notch on me. But that's just how I feel. I just change the barracks. It's not going to be like they're not naming them Lynch Central. They say welcome Lynch Central. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, but I guess it's the world, and I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Mm-hmm.
It is somewhat of a gray area, but you're right too, and I feel fine too. Like I have some of the best friends of all different types of colors.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, cool, but like back in the day, I guess if we're really culturally sensitive as a country, Lee was riding for the Confederates. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, he wanted.
We gonna protect this. Y'all not about to unionize nothing.
Yeah.
Union nothing. Y'all go to hell. We're gonna keep this whole establishment that we got, Jamestown, the cotton business, this ours. So like I think they look at it, when you look at it like that, it's like, okay, right? But then also when you look at it like, okay, he was carrying out his orders, you know what I mean? He was like, so it's commendable. But it's also again like a really delicate gray area where we're in a time now where we want to really almost not eradicate, but just try to move forward as much as possible from that. Like, right? Like I know we're going to talk about tipping, and the massage, the health medicines and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. But when you think about the education system, just real quick, like 1 minute on this, right? If you were to build a curriculum about American history, how would you approach that time where slavery existed?
From a standpoint like me personally, or just like
you're the teacher, your curriculum. What is your approach? Like you got the kids in the prime of their learning, experience, and they're just now about to learn about that area. How do you approach that, if at all?
Yeah, I mean, I would do exactly what they did. I'd probably water it down. There's probably so much. I think slavery was probably like 10 times worse than what they explained it to us. We had 400 years, Jim Crow, that's about it. The Montgomery Boy bus caught, and you can't eat here. There's probably a lot worse things that happen. I mean, we're just discovering the Tulsa Massacre just now, right? And that was never even taught to us. So I think that the most important part is just we're just looking for the acknowledgement of what happened. You think Jewish people are going to let you forget about the Holocaust and Hitler when they're in? I know more about Hitler than I know about that I think it's like a Belgian general that killed 27 million Africans. I'll give you that article. 27 million, I think in the Congo, cutting off arms and stuff, and he did some reckless stuff. Yeah, I'll send you the article. There's worse things out there, and I think that's the most. It's not being acknowledged. Like, hey, we really did some really messed up stuff and didn't pay for it. That's what's happening. They gave the Indians their land. That's all we wanted was land.
Yeah.
You could give us land, but they didn't want to.
Yo, check this crazy transition here as we kind of get closer to our time, right? So as a teacher, and I love your perspective on that, right? I love that perspective, but check this transition, right? Because the way you brought that in, like if you're a teacher, if you're really embracing teaching and you're providing education to the kids in a selfless way, we know that they're underpaid.
Yeah.
We know teachers today are underpaid. From K through 12, those are your most formidable years of your entire life. And you spent probably half your time in school. Why not pay the people that lead your kids there, right? And so what if teachers got tipped, right? Hey, I got straight A's. Hey, teacher, they go about $40, thanks.
That'll make their day.
And it's not taxable anymore, right? They don't for like waiters and things like that. It's not taxable anymore. Let's talk about tipping a little bit, right? And where does it make sense right now in the world?
First of all, it's getting out of control. I don't know where you're at in Baltimore, but here in Houston, everybody turns that thing around. It's like the first thing you see is 20%, and like it wasn't like exquisite service. Like I'm at Applebee's or something. What do you? This is what I knew was got out of control, and I'm not lying to you. And I wish I lied to you viewers and make this up. I got a house inspection. A house, right. That 1 year mark, okay, let me get a house inspection so they come fix up, everything.
Right.
The first thing on this thing was a tip for a house inspection. A house inspection. I was like, absolutely not. And it's like, oh, you won't get this file unless you pay. I was like, I'm already paying like $350 to $500 to this inspection, and you want me to tip you? I mean, it is hot in that attic, but shit, that's part of the job. And so that's when I think it goes a little bit too far. I like tipping, the waitresses, the bartender, they're underpaid, just like you said about the teachers. So they need that money. You probably worked an hourly job. I worked at KFC, Taco Bell. That was fun too. But I needed those tips. I'm busting tables, at a restaurant. I needed that tip for gas money. So that's what it accommodated. Why, the restaurant could still profit. And then people tip you for your service. Hey, hey, thank you. You did a great job. My dinner experience was great. Here's an extra tip, for you, whatever. And that's the important part. Now it's almost become like mandatory. Like, oh, you didn't tip me 15, 20%? I'm one more interest rate around from being poor. One more tariff away. Everything in my house is made from China. What are we doing? And so I think we got away from the customary, then it made it like mandatory. Like, first of all, I just had a kindness in my heart. Now you're sitting there trying to make me do it, or even trying to make me feel bad. It's like, you need to ask that owner who's making that money off you. Like, or post your rates that you're getting so we understand if you're tipping. And then, I don't want to say it's the worst case scenario. I hope the owner's not taking the tips from these people. I see some stories where the tips go straight to the owner, not even to the people that are buzzing tables. Why they still work there? They're stuck in that hole. So I think it should be go back to customary, and it should be us two versus like, oh, give me 20% or 30%. I'm like, it's kind of, is that the range that we want to be in for tipping? Like, what are your thoughts on like tipping? I usually, if it's really good, I'll probably do like 20%.
Yeah, but let me ask you, what industries you think should be banned from tipping? And then we'll go from there.
No, tipping only should be like restaurants, small businesses, bars, when people are actually serving you, when it's actually a person.
So like hospitality? Yeah. Or like what? How do you categorize that, right? Like,
well, you like delivery drivers too, right? So I think delivery driver, I deliver when we do Uber Eats or DoorDash or whatever. I tip heavy because I seen them stories when people don't tip what they do to that food. So that's what make sure I'm good.
So that's a good point, because once you start categorizing the services in that regard, I think you start expanding the palette. Like I said, I'm joking. I don't think you should tip your teacher. It's funny. I seen a Instagram post the other day. I should have sent it to you, but it was like, you probably seen it, where like teachers back in the day versus teachers now. And then like the teachers back in the day are like all old ladies, Yeah,
all my teachers
looking like in their mid 40s, early 50s.
Yeah.
Just looking like on PBS or something like that. Yeah. And now these teachers now like in their mid 20s, looking like, you know what I'm saying, models and stuff. Like, I ain't saying you should tip teachers, but if there was ever time to tip a teacher, right now be it.
Here we go with your fine ass. I see you wearing that dress, girl. God damn. The teachers, when I was going to school, where were all the teachers when I was going to school?
But you can't expand it. You can't expand it. So you can.
That's nasty, by the way. I just want to clarify for y'all.
No, we're joking. Completely joking.
We're completely joking. Like, that's nasty. You know how many dudes are out there?
Oh, absolutely.
You know how many dudes are out there desperate for that? And you over there with this youngin'? Like, you
you
ain't that old. I gotta say, if you're like 50, trying to look for a youngin', like, come on now.
But they might be looking for somebody's parents too, man. You know what I mean? Single father might stroll in like, where your teacher at, son?
I want to talk to you about this grade.
But no, I think it's just become it's not taxable anymore. You know what I mean? It's you want to be able to tip. I just look at general service, right? Again, the enduring theme of the mandatory service part, right? Some people don't understand what it means to serve selflessly. You know what I mean? So now they're asking for like, tips. You know what I mean? They're asking for extra on top of what they already do. And you brought up a good point where, hey, go back to the owner. He might be taking your money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or raise your rates.
Yeah, raise your rates, know your value.
Like, I'm not going to do it if I go to a drive-through car wash, I'm not going to tip the person that says, I'm not going to tip him, right?
Yeah, but sometimes, like, I'll be tipping the car wash people. So my rules is if I have like a $10 bill or lower, I have more ability to tip. Now, if I have like a $20 bill, like you said, there's certain percentages in money value that I just don't want. I tip my barber really well. Shout out to Hicks Cuts. Like, I don't like barber, to tip, just anybody. Yeah. You know what I mean? I want to tip people that do good. Because, like, I was tipping the ladies that was cleaning my house for a little while. And then I ain't gonna lie, I was like, I was about to hit that POOR status too. Like, hold on now. I'm going to clean my own bathroom. Let me clean my own bathroom. Let me tip myself, goddammit.
What the fuck is this?
Right. Let me save a few dollars.
Yeah, right.
So, no, I think our tipping etiquette still needs to be talked about. I think it still needs some, like, a little reform in here and there, just to keep it cool. But, yo, man, closing out real quick. Just a lot of stuff with health. I seen, Ozempic is taking over. You know what's funny? This is going all the way.
I don't even know what that does, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
So what it does is it lowers your blood sugar levels. It lowers your blood sugar levels and it reduces like a lot of like diseases or health conditions that affect the cardiovascular system. And so it's basically a weight loss supplement to help you control your body's levels, like cholesterol, blood sugar, a lot of those things that plague America. I was reading an article yesterday about how a lot of the foods we eat have gone high in sodium and fats and things like that. And RFK Jr. is trying to actually provide education to the medical doctors, professionals about nutrition. Mm-hmm. And they're also trying to change what kids eat in school. They're trying to change, because that's number one of anything, is the diet and exercise. Like the medication part is always to me a supplement. But I think that if you're hurting, you know what I'm saying, and you're struggling, you're not able to break that barrier, I think there might be a solution to use, GLP-1 or Ozempic.
I don't blame anybody using that, but I think you should try the natural way first. I think we did. I think we did like a little 50 days, 75 hour, whatever. And
it was 50 days.
Yeah, it was like 50 days. Like, all right.
Maybe 40.
But it actually worked. It worked, you
it
get back on the drinking and you actually kind of watching what you're eating, at least have a piece of fruit or something, or don't eat, just fast and get supplements, sea moss, whatever. But I think the most important part is get out there in that sun. That's what I learned from it. Like, dang, I just go out in that sun, you can walk for 1 mile, and that's 20 minutes, and you should be okay, but probably a little bit more would be better. But just get there, get out in that sun. If you don't want to work out, stretch. Stretch is another thing too, but I think it's important to go back outside and stay healthy. I'm going through health concerns myself too. Not to put no HIPAA stuff out there, but we're getting up there. We're getting up there. Some people are halfway through their life. Some people are 40%. So we don't want to be that early statistic where sudden heart failures are. So we gotta make sure we take care of ourselves, and even in your mental health too as well. So, but definitely the physical health. What you eat, what you put in your body. I did the IV therapy. That's pretty cool. It felt good. It wasn't going as fast as I was dehydrated. He's like, yeah, next time don't drink water in the morning. I was like, oh, my bad. I'll be thirsty in the morning. So doing certain things like that just to keep up your health is always a good thing. Just to live out your life fully and healthy.
I like that too. What kind of IV treatment did you get?
I think it was the Myers cocktail, the normal one. I think it's called the Myers cocktail. I tried to ask, they had like different ones on their website, but they don't have them in stock. So like, we just have this one. I'm like, oh, sure. Okay, let me try it.
I've done that before. I get massages regularly. I had a personal trainer for about 6 months and helped me get my strength back and the muscles that I just felt challenged to strengthen. You know what I mean, on a day-to-day basis, and it helped me get accountable and educated on like the way I felt and function with my body at this age in my life.
Yeah.
Because the problem is like the main problem for most people, most adults, is that like you can't do what you did in your 20s no more. You can't go out there and just run around and do. You got to have a concentrated approach in the kitchen, in the gym. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And just go slow too. So if you're just restarting, to go slow. Do not go in there thinking you can do your max like you did 20 years ago. So do lightweight. I'm not embarrassed anymore. I'll be in there doing lightweight, doing press. Like the girl next to me doing the same weight and stuff.
Well, yo, what's funny is like, so, and then you know here, I was about to say earlier, so a few minutes ago, but it's like, I seen, for some reason, this came across my timeline. I don't know why. Alright, I'm cool. I'm a married man. I love my family. You know, I'm living a healthy lifestyle. I'm following Bloomberg. I'm following Wall Street Journal. I'm looking at all the right things, the economics, the business, the sports, the education, all this stuff, the academics and philosophy, psychology. I'm loving it. There's a good Netflix movie out there, Stutz, that Jonah Hill made. It's great. We could talk about it another time. But I'm going through my timeline on Instagram, and I find a picture of Pinky. So for those that don't know Pinky, Pinky is a hood legend. So she has before and like back in her day picture and the picture now, and she's very, very large. And I see in the comments it says, "Ain't nothing a little Ozempic can't fix."
She got big, bro. Like concerning.
I just don't want people to think like this Ozempic thing can be a shortcut to health.
Yeah, I just see people like cookies, like Ozempic, getting a big old pizza.
That's it. Hey yo, I appreciate you coming through, bro. We gonna keep rapping, yo.
Yes,
we gotta keep rapping. Thank you for the legendary D-Trav coming through. You know what I'm saying? Current events, talk a little college football, a little health, a little bit of everything, bro. That's what we do. Rejoice in the perspective, yo, with the great Chillin, bro. Any closing comments for him, yo?
Nah, thanks for having me.
Great Chillin.